evening and welcome to Lagos Updates on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. This program highlights the activities of the Lagos State Governor and other state events. I'm Adeola Akindele. In the highlights of the program today, Governor Sanw-Olu swears in new permanent secretaries into Lagos State Civil Service. This and more after this timeout. We'll begin today with this story. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanw-Olu has pledged the continuation of his administration's support for the creative industry in the state. Governor Sanw-Olu applauds the tenacity and doggedness of the Nigerian creative artists and entertainers for creating a growth path for the sector with less institutional support. He said Lagos State government was already changing the narrative by deliberately working in partnership with industry players to bring more development and professionalism into the creative sector. Governor Sanw-Olu stated this at Atlanta in the United States of America during an interactive session with Nigerian musicians, producers and promoters at an event tagged Stars Are Made in Lagos, a side event at the just concluded 15th Headies Global Awards. The governor also visited the Trilight Studios in Atlanta ahead of the planned Lagos Film City project, where he met with the founder, Mr. Daniel Troyes Cathy. Governor Sanw-Olu and his entourage were taking around the 700-acre site studio with a 400 acres backlog and 24 sound stages. The governor said entertainment is well structured in his administration's 6 pillars themes developmental agenda for Greater Lagos, which are traffic management and transportation, health and environment, education and technology, making Lagos a 21st century economy, entertainment and tourism, and security and governance. In a bid to ensure zero drowning in the state, the Lagos State government has organized a sensitization program for 150 swimming pool operators, lifeguards, beach and hotel operators. This followed the recent drowning incidents recorded within the metropolis. Director General of the Lagos State Safety Commission, Lanre Mojola, who stated that the training is in line with the United Nations action, hinted that statistics show that globally 236,000 people between 1 and 24 years die annually through drowning. Mojola stated that with the Lagos State Swimming Pool Safety Regulation Bill passed by the State House of Assembly, erring operators and individuals will face the full wrath of the law.
The rule of law is clear, and negligence is not an excuse. We've passed and we've done a lot of work in terms of passing the swimming pool safety regulations. The Lagos State House of Assembly has helped tremendously with this, and it's also the governor of the state. So after having this session and putting them through, and several other sessions, certainly for anyone that defaults, will be penalized.
Representative of the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Relations, Sheson Ogundeko Bukola Ayinla, commended the efforts of the Lagos State Safety Commission for the initiative, which she described as critical at this period where a lot of organizations, estates, individuals own pool facility without safety measures in place.
In some countries, we find out that drowning accounts for over 40% of loss of lives of children aged between 1 to 4. And the institution of safety measures has drastically reduced the occurrence of these drowning practices in some countries, as much as 90%.
The convener, Strap and Safe Child Foundation, Bolanle Edwards, advocated a growth mindset and establishment of a research team in partnership with the Lagos State Safety Commission to get accurate statistics on incidents across the state.
especially if you do not know how to swim, then you must have life jackets on. People go on the waterway, they don't have proper life jacket, not just putting on a jacket, but having the proper life jackets on. Then again, you must have the basic skill when you must swim. There's some basic skills that you learn when you start to swim, and that skills must be put in place. But if you do not know how to harness them, get a professional to help you.
Other facilitators at the event touched on various topics, including demonstrating ways to assist victims of drowning if such incidents occur, and they were unanimous in agreement for all stakeholders to improve safety measures and government to step up advocacy and enforcement of its regulations. From that story, we move to this one, which says the Lagos State Parking Authority, LASPA, is created to find lasting solution to indiscriminate and illegal parking to minimize traffic gridlocks across the state. Lagos State Commissioner for Transportation Frederick Oladeyinde stated this during a press briefing on Wednesday to clear the air on the erroneous information making the rounds about the activities of LASPA. Oladeyinde noted that the agency is established by law and has the power to collect parking levies on setback land from private, non-commercial and other parking lots.
Solution that we're bringing to solve congestion in Lagos is to see how we can regulate parking, because you will all agree with me that indiscriminate parking eats into the capacity of the network of Lagos State. And oftentimes you find out that people park indiscriminately, they leave their cars when it breaks down. And it's important that we clear that as quickly as possible, because Lagos is very compact and just one impediment can lead to over 20 minutes of delay.
The General Manager of Lagos State Parking Authority, Adebisi Adelabu, who urged property owners to provide parking spaces within their premises when constructing, said the effort by the state government is to plan the city, develop transport infrastructure from the revenue realized, create employment, and ensure Lagos emerge as a smart city while also leveraging technology.
People pay for parking. You and I pay, the area boys, whoever. We get somewhere, it's 500 naira, it's 1,000 naira. Some places it's even 2,000 naira when you go to some events. What the government is saying, let this money go back into the system and create infrastructure. We will also create employment. I can't stress this enough.
Residents have been enjoined to take advantage of the various social media platforms of LASPA for necessary information and assistance, as well as the following numbers: 012-275-230, 0122-75231, or visit the agency's office at number 36B, Shashogbon Street, GRA, Ikeja. Also on Wednesday, the Lagos State government announced the appointment of engineer Omotayo Bangboshe Martins as the new commissioner, Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development. Engineer Bangboshe Martins replaces town planner Idris Salako, who resigned on Monday. Commissioner for Information and Strategy Gbenga Omotosho, who gave the hint while briefing Governor's Office correspondents at Lausa, said Governor Babajide Sanw-Olu gave the approval to allow the former Commissioner of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Relations bring his wealth of experience to bear in his new portfolio.
Bangboshe Martins is coming into the job with a wealth of experience from the Ministry of Special Duties now. He's been in government for quite some time. He's an engineer of note.
On Thursday, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanw-Olu approved the appointment of 2 new Tutor General, Permanent Secretaries, and 9 Permanent Secretaries in the Lagos State Public Service. In a statement released by the Lagos State Head of Service, Hakeem Uriokunla, the appointments were based on merit, as appointees were selected from the pool of qualified candidates sequel to the executive development and screening exercise for eligible directors, which took place in April 2022. He expressed confidence that the new appointees, who had emerged from a field of intelligent and qualified officers, possess the qualities, competencies, and experience required to serve as permanent secretaries in the Lagos State Public Service. On Friday, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanw-Olu swore in 11 new permanent secretaries into the Lagos State Civil Service. At the swearing-in ceremony at Lagos House, Lausa, Ikeja, Governor Sanw-Olu tasked the new appointees to use their wealth of experience to bring about reformative development to the state for the benefit of residents.
Your responsibility as permanent secretary and accounting officers is to optimally manage all the resources, both financial and human, that will be placed at your disposal at your various MDA. Very optimistic that you all will measure up to the expectation, and you'll be able to say that we did not misplace our trust in appointing you today.
The new permanent secretaries are Mr. Olusegun Oshinaike, TJPS District 4, Dr. Idowu Oyetola, TJPS District 3, Mrs. Olasukomi Oyegbola, Parastatals Monitoring Office, Mrs. Kikelomo Dawodu, Office of Central Internal Audit, Engineer Gbolahan Toriola, Ministry of Transportation, Mrs. Abiola Bidakun, Teaching Service Commission, Mrs. Olalade Ainu, Home Affairs, Mrs. Ibilola Kasumu, Science and Tech, Mr. Olumide Shogunle, Information and Strategy, Mr. Olumide Shotire, Waterfront and Infrastructure, Mr. Ibrahim Obajomo, Economic Planning and Budget. In a vote of assurance on behalf of all, the Tutor General Permanent Secretary, Education District 4, Olusegun Oshinaike, promised that they would adhere strictly to the theme's developmental agenda and improve on it to bring about more dividends of democracy to residents.
Being a state of excellence, the bar is very high. We know that quite very well, and we are going to ensure that that bar is not reduced. And in fact, we are going to move it higher.
Also, Governor Sanw-Olu announced the redeployment of Mr. Kamal Oluwoshago from the Ministry of Transportation to Ministry of Housing, Ms. Yinka Fashola from Science and Tech to Ministry of Wealth Creation, Mrs. Adetutu Oshosoya from Office of Central Internal Audit to Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Cooperatives. Mrs. Toyin Okelsoyintolu is now the PS, Ministry of Youth and Social Development, while Dr. Olugbenga Ainu holds force at the Parastatals Monitoring Office. Also on Friday, Governor Babajide Sanw-Olu inaugurated a 5-man standing tribunal of inquiry into chieftaincy matters in the state. The tribunal, chaired by Justice Owolabi Dabiri, is to ensure peace and harmony in the processes and procedures of succession into traditional stools within and among communities in the state. Governor Sanw-Olu stated that since its establishment in 2001, the tribunal has handled over 50 chieftaincy cases.
And you can see from the resume of chairman and members today, they are men of impeccable integrity. They are men that will believe, and women that will believe, who do justice to this standing tribunal. I have no doubt that the tribunal has now been equipped with skills that is required to creditably discharge the duties of peaceful adjudication of disputes among many tasks that will demanded of.
Governor Sanw-Olu also moved the supervision of the tribunal from the Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs to the Ministry of Justice. Finally, on the program today, Lagos State Government has urged every household in the state to ensure that they own a waste bin and recycling bin in order to tackle the challenges of plastic pollution through recycling and waste management reward system. The Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of Lagos State Waste Management Authority, LOMA, Ibrahim Odumboni, stated this during the 3rd anniversary of Lagos Recycling Initiative at the Olusegun landfill in Lagos. Odumboni said from 4th of October, the state government will serve an abatement notice to those who refuse to follow the laws, noting that the initiative seeks to encourage separation of waste at the point of generation for recycling purposes and encourage waste to wealth.
Policeman, we are going to establish 170 recycling centers before the end of December next year. Also, I can see a future whereby there is a recycling center in every 2-mile radius of where you live. And I can also guarantee that in the estate managers, 75% plus of all the estates in Lagos, or the next estate, will be having the recycling certification of their estate.
Odumboni noted that recycling is key to the authorities' drive to make Lagos cleaner and livable, stressing that moving plastic materials from Lagos waste stream would reduce the volume of waste that eventually gets to dump sites. The Loma CEO stated that apart from making the state cleaner, healthier and livable, the Lagos Recycle initiative would help create jobs for the teeming youth population who are interested in becoming entrepreneurs, with over 6,000 jobs to be created. And with that story, we conclude this week's edition of Lagos Update, a program that highlights the activities of the Lagos State Governor and other state events. You can listen to Lagos Traffic Radio on our website www.trafficradio961.ng and follow us on our various social media platforms: Twitter, Lagos Traffic 961, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961, Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. On YouTube, subscribe to our channel, Lagos Traffic 961. You can download our app, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM from Play Store for more updates. You can also follow me on Twitter at Adeola Akindele1. Thanks to my producer, Babatunde Akinyemi, studio engineer Oyeshola Ola, with support from the social media team. The executive producer is Tayo Akunle. I'm Adeola Akindele. Next week is another